And welcome back into the Denny Sanford Premier Center, where I'm joined now by Stars head coach Cody Chupp. And Coach, you guys dropped one here tonight. And did you feel like this game was kind of defined by some mistakes or some breakdowns? Because it seemed like a lot of those goals were Tyler Johnson versus one guy, and obviously the penalty shot is that situation. But do you feel like this one got away from you guys?
Yeah, what we did tonight is we self-inflicted and talked about it in the pregame. The strength of this team is their transition game, and that's how they generate their offense. It's not from a lot of down-low play, but it's mostly in transition. They do a good job of forcing plays at the blue line, and they live off that transition. So, you know, I thought the goals that they scored, we fed their transition. Guys getting behind us on bad line changes, maybe a little lack of awareness from our F3 at times. And then we wanted to go east-west a ton coming out of our own zone and through the neutral zone. And all that does is slow down our transition and gives them the opportunity to hold that line and create their own transition. So credit to them, they played to their strengths. They were successful in their strengths. We had to work a lot harder for our goals.
Now, in terms of just one of the positives, it seemed like Josh Lopina, who scored 2 goals in 2 games, along with a couple of strong efforts on a couple of those scoring plays from a few others. But Lopina especially seems like he had a decent game tonight, and again has scored a bit now in the last couple of games. Do you feel like he's kind of hitting that stride again we saw earlier in the year from him in terms of starting to feel a rhythm again?
Yeah, and Josh has been one of our most consistent players all year long because he's committed to working every single day and every single game. He's committed to being tough to play against, to the competitive side, and competing every single day. And that's what allows him to be so consistent. And whether the scoring's there or not, he's found a consistency and working his butt off every single day.
Now, you get the benefit of just a 1-game week next week. Kind of gets you a chance to regroup a little bit here. Obviously, coming back from the break, there wasn't a long practice schedule, kind of everything done where it's, you can, just like every team in the USHL right now, get back, get a practice or 2 in, and then hit the road immediately. Again, I know we've asked this question before, and we actually had John Hull in here in the first intermission talking about just habits and getting to the details, but what is the message this upcoming week as you guys try to break out of the recent struggle?
I mean, that's exactly it. It's habits and details, and there's really no excuse for tonight. The answers were given to you before the test was taken, and we're not mentally ready to face our opponent. Like I said, we talk about transition and how that's their strength, and then we start giving them free transition. It's going to be a long night, and it's going to be a really tough night if you allow a team to play into their strengths so easily. And we do have a week of practice and a 1-game weekend, but it could be good, it could be bad. Right now, it's not a matter of we haven't had enough practice or we haven't had enough time to prepare. It's a matter of those details and making sure that we're mentally locked in to what we're trying to accomplish on the weekends, because right now it's little lapses, and little lapses in this league are a massive thing, and they're really tough to overcome. So we have a tough opponent next weekend, going into a hostile building in a different style rink. It'll be a handful, and we got to be ready mentally and physically for a great opponent.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate the time. We look forward to talking to you later in the week.